Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to another episode of RAERAEs Review, where you know who we is. She is back, my homegirl, Psychic ELB, otherwise known as Erin. Everyone, welcome Erin.
Hello everyone, thank you for having me.
Of course, we will be discussing Southern Charm, Season 10, Episode 12. Little more tea is spilled, child. Woo, Erin got the tea, y'all. Erin got the tea. We're going to talk about it. You know, that little, like we've been yelling production trifling, JT and Venita's trifling. But most definitely production is trifling. You know, we've been saying that for all 12 episodes, child, and other reviews, but that's just me. But woo. This Southern Charm is a little something. I like Southern Charm. You know, I do. See, wow, episode 12 only got a few more episodes before the reunion.
I know, it's going by quickly.
We should start to get those reunion seating charts in a minute, the way Bravo always likes to do. Once we do, we will definitely keep you posted and give you the reunion looks, all that, along with the reunion, of course. You want to dive right in, man?
Yes, they did release the reunion seating chart, and JT was on it. Ryan was not, but they have not released the looks, I don't believe, other than I think Andy did a live with Craig from the reunion.
Ooh, that should be interesting. We gotta look that up. Yeah. Talk about it next week, hopefully. Yes. Mm-hmm. Well, y'all listen. We know Shep had his heart broke with that tired text he sent Sienna last time. And Lord Jesus, he kept reading that text. Every time he read that text, I just shook my head. Lord, why? But yeah, so they all coming back from their respective outings. Remember, some of them went snorkeling and some of them went to the fish fry. And they're all getting ready for dinner. And JT came in right before they came in. So he has his own room, of course. Otherwise, they would have noticed him in the boys' suite, of course. Okay. So he came in with his own suite and everything. And he went with everybody to dinner. And he's getting some shade from Sally off rip. I mean, you know, making sure that he is in one vehicle with certain folks, and the other folks in the other vehicle pretty much has this venom for him. Did you catch
that? Yes. I mean, Sally right off the bat was like, I don't want to sit by him. But yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, in all fairness to her, I mean, he did call her the other woman. He threw her under the bus at his place. I kind of respect the fact that Sally is keeping it 100. Like, I don't want to sit by this jerk. He slut shamed me at the last time we were all together.
Now that's where we have a little odd of difference of opinion, because first night giving a BJ, I don't know if that's slut shaming. It was just a slut. That's just me. But I do kind of agree with him putting her on blast like that,
Yeah, I mean, I'm still not gonna sit next to the person that calls me that.
Hello.
That's all. I'm not saying he was necessarily wrong. I'm just saying that I would be, if I were Sally, I would still be like, I'm not sitting next to the person that calls me so. But yes.
He was getting a lot of pressure, JT, from wanting to settle scores with people and just have it out at the dinner table. what happened to etiquette? Aren't we supposed to have dinner first and then talk? Folks is hungry. I mean,
yeah, I agree. They just jumped down his throat. I mean, it's not easy to go. Like, they all acted like, they had every right to just tear him apart because,
right.
and it's like, it's not quite like that, everybody. They really did. They'd all been, I think, drinking, though. I think by the time we get to dinner, they're all kind of,
And speaking of drinking, I did see Craig's drink. He's been drinking.
I told you, he orders a Bud Light.
I saw the fuzz. I've been noticing ever since we discussed. I said this whole episode he's been drinking. This whole doggone episode, meaning the whole time. I mean, of course I believe you, but I'm like, now I see it with the different, takes and whatnot. Like, this man that fell off the wagon.
Well, I mean, I don't really, what Austen, I think I told you this, I've seen some interviews where Austen made a reference about low alcohol volume beverages. There's some acronym I mess up every time. I think Craig is very much having low alcohol, like, level beer when he is partaking. But you're right, like, again, I told you, it's a gray area.
I mean, to me, I kind of consider that CBD versus THC. Like, there's CBD and THC, but there's no THC and CBD.
Yeah, and I mean, like, he'd have to drink probably 12 beers to really, you know what I mean? Like, the level he'd have to consume to get really toasty pants, I don't think he's even, he looks too healthy. Like, I think he's able to control things that way. And if he is, then that's his effing business. Like, if he needs a little tiny bit of the devil's juice and he can handle his liquor, at that level, then that's his business. But he also might be now at a place where he's not even having any kind of alcoholic beverage, versus when they filmed this. But yeah, I told you, it's not clear cut. And that's okay.
Now, what I do see is Craig cannot handle JT. JT was confrontational because he is adamant. He had some backup. And that even made Madison think twice. She's like, well, maybe he didn't. Okay, I'll agree to talk. So they're going to talk the next day while everybody else is confronting him, especially Craig. Even Shep came to JT's defense. I didn't hear it, but we already know he said that before.
Yeah, and I respect Shep for sticking to it, though. He's like, I didn't hear that shit. And because the truth is the truth. I was thinking about this a little bit, and it's like, the problem that JT has in this whole scenario is that he can't just apologize for kind of running his mouth about everybody with Craig and Shep. And he's getting called out on it. And it's like, the problem is that Craig made it way more dramatic than it was. But at the end of the day, JT could go a long way by saying to all of them, look, I said some critical things and I genuinely apologize. They were not to the level that Craig has made them. I refuse to take accountability for calling Patricia a B. And I refuse to say that I said Madison and I were having an affair. But I did run my mouth. I was critical and I deeply apologize for that. Not even deeply.
Write his read, girl.
Right? I apologize. I apologize for running my mouth. I won't blame or whatever, because he needs to differentiate between the severity of what's Craig's saying, but he can't deny that there's footage of him, saying Patricia acted weird, Madison and her husband that's gossipy to tell Shep and Craig about that phone call. So you were gossiping. Apologize for that. Move on.
True. And to that point, when he was referencing Madison and her boyfriend, because Madison wanted to make clear, was the word affair used? No, it wasn't. Because like I said with them, etiquette means a lot. They're really up on image and things like that. It goes a long way. It can precede them, obviously. So they're really looking into it. And again, she's clearing it up for her husband. And it's no shade, but I'm glad she's doing that. because she's making him at ease when she has to be alone with these people. And that's who her castmates are, you know, in filming maybe one-on-ones with exes like she does with Austen. I'm glad that she's taking this approach the way she's taking it with JT, and she's not so gung-ho. Girl, not like Austen. Ooh, he read JT for filth, child. I mean, girl.
He just wanted an excuse. Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I think when Madison watched what JT actually said, she still probably didn't appreciate it. Honestly, she probably not. Because, you know, he still voluntarily brought up the gossipy part about all of that. And he also said, you know, remember when Madison dressed up like me? I think her husband, that was stupid. That's where it's like, get out of here. That's where everybody's kind of laughing at him like, you did not. You know, so that's where JT has to be like, I'm sorry, I was talking about you guys, you know, like but back to Austen, like, well, I guess Austen does kind of have a right to be mad at JT because JT did insinuate that Austen cheated on his girlfriend. And
he actually said it.
Yeah. So
verbatim, he's dating her. He's with other women when he has a girlfriend. That's what he said.
Is that based on what Venita said? Like,
I don't recall. I think he just said it, like he had first-hand knowledge.
Not Venita, Leva. I think Leva. Remember, he heard it on the bus. Leva said on the bus, like, "Oh, I've heard. Oh, well, I know some people he was seeing at the same time as her."
I don't remember him saying Leva, but okay.
Well, no, I'm just saying, was that where JT got it from? But and you're saying you didn't hear. Anyway,
I just thought he said it after first-hand knowledge. I didn't hear him reference anybody. I could be wrong. If y'all know, let us know in the comments, please.
Yes, I think he got that from Leva on the bus during the race event, and then took that back to the guys when they played golf. Because he just, but regardless, Austen did have a right to be pissed at him because, you know, they have a weird history, and instead of stopping calling Austen an F-boy, he just continues to stand that ground, which is probably not wrong, but like if I were Austen, I would want to headbutt JT by this point too.
It's like Austen was looking for a fight. He was really gnawing at JT. Like it's just the way production played it. And it was different insults about his height, about his character, about how nobody really liked it was just
he went in.
It was rough.
It was
rough. And he took it like a champ. You know, he's that, I guess he wants that gold star for congeniality because he doesn't want to give them what they want. That's pretty much how I think he is. He doesn't want to give them what they want. He'd rather just, you know, play the nice guy and prove to people. You know, it seems like he has a lot to prove. Is that Napoleon syndrome situation?
I don't know. He's so weird because on one hand, he gets so self-righteous and wants the floor and is like, I have to tell Taylor what's up, whether she wants to hear it or not. And I got to tell Sally what's up with her, whether she wants to hear it or not. And I'm going to tell Austen what's up with him, whether he wants to hear it or not. But at the same time, like, he talked about, FYI, JT has his own YouTube channel, by the way, and he has like a whole 24 subscribers or something, but he did a review, or he talked about this episode, and he said that he felt very nervous going into this dinner. Very, very, like, you know, anxious, and for obvious reason, you know.
Let's talk about it, because after the dinner and all the said was done, they all ate and all that was done. Next thing we know, they're getting putting on PJs, and we see Venita going barefoot up to his room, and he's like, "No cameras, just you." Now, according to your sources, production is what production's bullshitting again?
Yeah, Venita posted in her stories after the episode that she understands that, you know, things happen when you are creating a reality show, but she wants to make it absolutely clear that she did not know JT had a girlfriend before the Bahamas trip. The scene where she cooks that whole fish in her apartment, the branzino, and has JT over happened after after the Bahamas, which totally makes sense. Remember how you and I were like, why would, in my mind, I'm like, why would she straddle him? And why would she talk about to all these interviews when they were doing promo for Southern Charm? Why would she be acting all surprised that JT had a girlfriend if she knew that early on and then still tried some mess at the Bahamas?
It's making her look like a little floozy.
And she said, I refuse to let production make me look like I'm a homewrecker. She's like, I did not know that he had a girlfriend in the Bahamas. The fish scene was shot after, which totally makes sense about the vibe of the whole fish scene, because they had already had this hot and heavy flirtation, and JT told her in the Bahamas, I feel the same way you do, but I can't. The reason is, let's continue down the rabbit hole, that JT is now being accused of kind of amping up this storyline with Venita for the show, not being honest about having a girlfriend the entire time. So like kind of egging on this romantic entanglement with Venita, only to like shut it down because he doesn't want to be, a cheater. Meanwhile, Venita she's claiming that she was unaware until later on.
Okay, I need a clarification real quick.
Yes.
Okay, so far what you said, I'm just going to throw out a few events. We got the event of her cooking him fish, inviting him over to her place.
Yep.
And him pretty much letting her down easy. And she like letting him know, hey, you got this over here. What's up? He's like, no, I got a girlfriend. Her name was whatever her name is. Then the next event was her discussing with Leva that he has a girlfriend. Next, we have this episode now. So that's 3 events.
Mm-hmm.
What's the correct order?
They went to the Bahamas. She cooked him. She tried to get with him. He said, no, I can't. He didn't tell her about a girlfriend then.
At the Bahamas?
No, they didn't get it together. She was like, you want this as much as I do. He's like, I want this too, but I can't. Then when they get back, she cooks the food for him.
Okay.
And he's like, I want you to, but like, I know something's there, whatever, but like, I have a girlfriend. And like, so then Venita calls Leva, who's like, what? He has a girlfriend? Because everybody thought they were on the romantic track, Venita and JT, because of the way that things have been progressing. So
with my hands on my hips, shaking my head, smirking.
Right. So now JT's being accused of leading Venita on for whatever reason, either to have a storyline on the show because he's a double dipper, or no matter what, he's being that's something that he's yet to be called out. I guess that it's coming up. But it's also attached to the fact that right around that time, the producer or the showrunner of the show was let go and someone else took over. And that is
from that girl that got a restraining order by 2 people on the show.
Right. And that's supposedly this girlfriend that JT's talking about. She's a publicist, and according to Ryan, like local sources, 2 of the cast members have a restraining order against her. If that's true, that's deeply concerning, but whatever. So all of the feelings that you and I have had about production, the timing feeling wrong and off, they absolutely are messing with us. And Venita just proved it.
Why can't production give us a true reality? Why are they making up a false narrative something needs to be done. I'm officially going. Do I need to start a petition? No more false narratives. Show us the true reality in the same in a proper, apropos, correct, linear, chronological order of events. Stop creating narratives for us to hate people, make people, for us to think of people in some way that they're not. I mean,
yeah, you can't go that far. You can't go that far. You cannot take this. You can't. I think what they did to Venita is dirty, and I applaud her for speaking up, because I get the fact that reality television is probably far more produced and fake in many ways that you and I would ever want to know, because we wouldn't be able to enjoy it. I get that part. But like, I agree with you. I put my foot down where you're making it look like someone knew about a girlfriend and still was motivated by this behavior, when that's not the way that it went down. That's not cool.
Because it's the norm on this show for some people.
Right. Yeah. Seriously. That's a true comment, And listen, it's juicy enough. You didn't need to do that to Venita. And I don't like that, because like, that's not Venita's character. So it's like, to your point, that's disingenuous to watching a show. No, you need to stick with the fact that like, she didn't know, and JT led her on, and run with that story. Don't do it another way. Like, what are you doing?
I really hope one of the bigger platforms than this really outs production, if not already. I mean, really puts them on blast.
This has been picked up. This Venita thing.
I mean, in a harsh way, the way Athens did Giselle.
Yeah, this has been picked up for sure. I mean, it's unfortunate because they already filmed the reunion, so Venita can't like bring it up there, but it's already circulating. And I've also heard from multiple outlets that cover Southern Charm, like Page 6 and stuff like that, that the production situation. So it's definitely getting around. We'll see what they do about it.
They need a harsh.
Yeah, they do.
Whatever it's called, child. I can't think of. A little crying apple before we start.
Shame on JT though. Like, I would having a lady in his room. If I was his girlfriend, I would be like, oh no. That's why Brett calls and finds out where Madison is.
I mean, when you go on, you go to Bahamas, somebody doing it. You know what I'm saying? At least two people doing it. Whether they show the person, because listen, I've known a few YouTubers I follow that have had little side somethings coming through without telling the TV people, and they had a little rendezvous. So, things are happening. I mean, not for Shep, but things are happening.
Yeah, really. The one person they're supposed to be happening for, they have not happened for.
Speaking of Shep, I'm sorry, were you done with the Venita and JT production trash drama? Okay.
I'm just saying, we were right.
I knew it. I usually am. Sometimes I'm not, but I usually am right. Anyway, okay. So next we got Craig. He FaceTime with Paige. Hey, he got to check in with Chicken. And so he pretty much he feels as though, I think he said it in his confessional, that Shep needs to hear from a female's perspective, because he ain't listening to none of us dudes. So he gets Paige to tell Shep pretty much, she's not into you. Leave her alone.
Well, it's funny because she kind of tells him like a dude. You can tell where Craig gets some of his harder side, because honestly, because she basically, exactly. She played Shep like, I mean, I wanted to be like, thanks, Captain Obvious. Like, nothing Paige said was earth-shattering news, and I don't even think she necessarily said it in a much better way to Shep, because but anyway, it was funny. It was funny to hear Paige tell him straight up,
What does Paige have to lose? I mean,
well, I think Shep deep down kind of knows all of what everybody's saying. I think he needed to kind of hear it personally. I would have said to him, you are addicted to the dopamine that you feel because you're wildly attracted to this girl and you have constructed some little life all around it that is not based in reality. It's not based in reality, Shep. You've met this girl 6 times. So living on a beach with your beautiful little freckle-lipped children and all of that, that's your mind creating a fantasy. And you need to get, and that's why you're acting. Like, I would be appealing to the more like, you need to realize that like this isn't real. This is your mind made up, attached to someone that you find really attractive. The pheromones, the hormones, the things are the moans are moaning. And you need to resist that, because now you're just spiraling into a much lesser version, that unhealthier version of yourself.
You think he needs to hear from Miss Patricia also?
I don't know who he needs to hear from to get it through at this point, because it couldn't be more painfully obvious.
Well, according to, just real quick, y'all, according to next week, they may just hear from Sienna.
Yeah, I think we get a beach scene where it finally hits home.
Her stomach feels better, y'all, because she's been having a stomach ache ever since she left, y'all, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, Paige tells Shep she's just not into you, boo. Move on. Just let it go. Craig set her up.
The signs are not, and you know what? It's honestly gotten to the point where like there's just about nothing she could say at the end of this to make it okay. Even if she said to him, "I really love you too. I was just so scared. I didn't want to be on camera," or you could have said any of that. You are not responding to him. You're declining invitations. You're flaking out at the last minute. There's nothing that you can come back with at this point that can excuse the level of behavior you've already displayed, which is fine. You're allowed to be over it. You are. And he's acting cringe. So it's okay for you to be even more repelled, but
right, they're supposed to go out on this nice boat outing, and like you said, she's canceling. First, it's like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I'm running late. Go ahead, go without me. He's devastated. He even come down the walkway just flailing his arms, like, man, I can't believe this girl. And everybody's like, oh, Sienna ain't coming, y'all. Sienna ain't coming. Look out, look out, look out. And and in my opinion, it's weird for them to try and pawn him off on Molly. Like, first of all, Molly ain't desperate, so let's not get it twisted. Just because she's self-pleasing, which is pretty much almost every woman, whether she got a man or not, or actually a significant other or not. The whole issue is, I just find it a little distasteful to just want to pawn Shep off on Molly. And why does the group need another pH imbalance?
I think they all would love it to be really, really simple, like a question of, the age-old adage of get under somebody else to get over somebody else, but I think right, but I also think that it's not even like the body's not even dead on the beach. Like, we know, we need give it. I mean, like, we're still in transition. So trying to force Molly, who looks amazing, but it's so ridiculous. It's like, you guys, no, it's not the right time, and I guess it's funny in a way, and it maybe sets us up for where we're going to head to the finale and all of that. But yeah, it's just this group and their pH imbalance solutions.
It's kind of weird. I wonder, is he going to let her know that he is aware of her crush and how or where he wants to go from there? Because he knows, right? And she said it on camera and it's known. So for them to ignore that and still be friends, to me, it's kind of awkward, don't you think? At least talk like, okay, I just think that they need to have a little conversation.
Yeah, well, spoiler alert, I think they kissed at the finale. So I think Yeah, like I think they think Molly kisses him. I think that's the rumor I hear. But yeah, I think they kiss. So I think we're gonna get it's gonna come to a head and we'll have a resolution.
And she got a little thickness, so I'm not that she thick, but I'm just saying she's bigger than everybody else, even though she was size 8, 6, 8 because of her height. That's it because of the length. I'm just saying, shoot, girl. And again, I understand he has a type and all that, but she fits his type. She is beautiful. She is successful. So, I ain't in his head, but sometimes when it could be staring you in your face.
Yeah, it would be nice if he could move on, but he's not there yet, and so we'll see.
But they have a great time in the water because Sienna didn't show up, boo-hoo. And yeah, they just had a great time. Him and Madison had a little talk, and she just feels a little bad for him, but at the same time, she worried about Brett and her man. So, that's Shep's problem, and she's really rooting for him and Molly. I don't know if it's just for convenience or I don't know, but to me, I wouldn't put Shep on anybody. He needs, and I'm gonna say it, he needs to go through 12-step program and just be alone for a year and get himself together because he's too wishy-washy and it's blatantly obvious this girl's not into you.
Well, he also doesn't have a control on his alcohol consumption because he went and passed out in a chair and got kicked out of a casino because he was emotionally upset. He let him, remember Craig kept saying, I hope he doesn't spiral. I hope he doesn't spiral. Right. Well, he spiraled and woke up in a chair. Right. He's lucky that he didn't get himself into further trouble, which is why he was all contrary and went down to Costa Rica just last year. So, it's unfortunate, as we've already seen with a lot of people, your reconciliation with substance use is a long journey. I think that Shep clearly does not have a handle on the situation because he's still his substance consumption is easily affected by his mood. And that's a sign that you don't have things in the right headspace.
Correctable, no.
It's one thing if you're Craig having a couple of Bud Lights and we're aware, but you're not, whatever. It's a whole other thing if the girl that you like is not giving you the time of day that you need and you get kicked out of a casino because you're so wasted you can't even function. And at 11:20 in the evening.
And she's purposefully not giving him any.
Yeah.
Because he kind of said that was a little bit of him admitting to them not being intimate, we came on hot and heavy at first. Now it was like you barely want to come around. So, I mean, if that's how you started, usually I say you end how you start, but if that's how y'all started and now she don't even want to be around with you changing clothes. If that ain't a sign, I don't know what ain't.
Yeah, welcome to how most women are treated, Shep. Somebody comes in hot and heavy and then dumps them cold. Wow, welcome to being, welcome.
Glad it wasn't Whitney.
Oh my God, somebody needs to put that doddering old fool in a body bag. But anyway.
Did you hear him slurring his words on the bus trying
again?
Oh, just hush, Whitney. We was glad when we didn't see you on the screen. Just hush. Just be a fixture.
Kids, don't talk. I mean, he even sits drunk. All curled up and waving around.
Girl, my girl. That's what it sounds like. Girl, my girl.
Yeah, here's it. Fix it up. Madison's the most egregious. Fix it with her. I'm like, get out of here, you colonizer. God.
On that note, was there anything else?
No.
Well, yeah, that Southern Jar, child. Season 10, episode 12, child. Next week we're gonna see Sienna letting him know what she gonna let him know. And
it's like that Roxette song. It must have been love.
Girl, that's the song too. Ooh, that's the song. Ooh,
it
yeah.
is.
Was that from
Pretty
Top
Woman.
Gun? Was that from Top Gun movie?
Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman. Ooh, that was
Roxette.
good.
It must have been love. Yep.
Girl. All right, so that was it for Southern Charm season 10, Lucky 10, episode 12. Ooh, Lucky 13 episode. We're gonna get some real tea next week. Sienna gonna drop the bizarre. Ooh, the bizarre on Shep. Ooh, post Shep.
Oh, well, not like it's a bomb at this point anymore. I feel like the little bombs have already been dropped, like it's like the last bullet.
Firecrackers.
Yeah.
Well, before we go, please let us know where we can find you when we're not talking about Southern Charm or Drag Race. What's happening with you?
You can catch me on Instagram, psychic_ELB. Please hit me up in the DMs if you'd like to get a psychic reading. You can also catch me on Alexander Rogers' channel. We should be doing an Oscar red carpet roast coming up here pretty soon.
Yes, we love the roast, y'all, cracking us all up with these fashions or lack thereof, child. Just come on in. So yes, and we're going to have a surprise for you guys next week. We will announce it at the end of the week. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And we'll catch you next time. Bye, y'all. All day.